Right, going live. Croaking a bit there. Come on in. Thanks for joining me. Welcome to my Periscope broadcast. And I'm trying not to croak again. I was doing final day, and today it's like. Okay, that's better. Back to my normal voice, I hope. We'll see. Let's come in. Hi, Evie. Nice to have you here. Thanks for joining me. Nice to have you here as well. And yes, seems like we've got some folks from yesterday back in. So Michelle, nice to have you here too. This one is an interesting scope. This is Woman Up Wednesday, by the way. Welcome to my scope, Woman Up Wednesday, because it is Wednesday. My daily love scopes I do about relationships, romance, and helping you have what you want in love. And I'm doing this one for women because I do Monday, I do for men as Man Up Monday. Although this one's going to be about men for women. So bear with me. Before I begin, thanks for coming in, thanks for joining me, and please, as Evie was so kind to do, and some other people did too, please share this on Periscope and Facebook and Twitter if you like. And if you're not following me already, first of all, please make sure you're following me, and two, let me know in the comments that you're here for the first time. Whoops, get my props in hand, rather than leaving behind the camera. That's really silly. Nice to have you here. Whoops, seeing who was there doing what. I saw people and I'm like, who was this? Oh yes, good to have you here. All right. PGM Network, I noticed the picture you have, but I don't see much data out there, which surprises me for such a strong organization, so you need to expand your stuff. Anyway, thanks for being here. Jennifer, nice to have you here too. For those who don't know me, my name is Barry Selby. I am a relationship expert, coach, teacher, speaker, author, #1 best-selling author, in fact. 50 Ways to Love Your Lover is my book. On Amazon, physical and digital book. For those who want the book, you can get it from my website. I've got tons of note sheets, which is so silly. Hey MJ, good to have you here. If you go to barryselby.com/book, you can read about the book there. There's an ebook version download right there for $10, or you can get the Amazon version, physical or Kindle. So, and there will be an audio version coming this year. I've been promising that I will deliver. It's only January, so give me time. So today's topic in particular, is important to you ladies. As I wrote in the title, which I mean to verify I say it the right way. Ladies, how a man deals with emotions is not about you. I almost wanted to say this. Now, man, now. Basically, as I've said before in many of my scopes, and if you watch my scopes, you know this is true, and you probably know it anyway. Men and women are different. Duh. In many ways. And one thing that's I've noticed recently in some of the conversations I've had with friends of mine in relationships, how they have difficulty with their partners, is they don't understand each other. Like, that's a surprise. It's really surprising, but also distressing, because the joy of relationships for men and women is that we are different. And the challenge of being in a relationship with men and women is because we're different. And this is one of the pieces about emotions. And I'm going to give this right up front, the difference, and then explain more about it as we go into it, so you can understand. So if you missed the beginning of this, you're going to go, oh my God, I missed the details. So I'll come back to it. So here's the key. Women deal with their emotions by expressing them. Women deal with emotions by sharing and getting feedback and getting support in their emotions. Men don't. We deal with emotions by taking them off on our own, like going to a cave somewhere and processing them, and mostly burying them, to be honest. Most men are really good at burying their emotions because they figure, time heals all wounds sort of thing. It doesn't really work that way. It actually creates more scar tissue. So basically what men do is turn their emotions into scar tissue, emotionally speaking. I'll come back to this. Okay, I'm not going to run away with this. I just started this scope, so it's not replay yet. You want to replay that piece again. Let me say it again, just for those people who are coming in late or didn't hear it the first time. Women, ladies, you deal with emotions by expressing them. That's your gift. And for men, sometimes it's very challenging. And I've spoken to men about this, and I'll drop this piece in now because this is important for any men listening and for you ladies to understand too if you want a healthy relationship. When a woman expresses her emotions, men listening in, it's usually not about you. It's about them. Sorry, let me speak to the ladies. Ladies, when you express emotions, it's usually not about the man, it's about yourself. And you're venting it and releasing it. A man who deserves you, who's in his masculinity, who's in his strength, don't take anything personally, right, yes, second agreement, I like it. And this is the piece of that, is that a man who you want to be with in a relationship is one who, when you get upset and emotionally just expressive, explosive, and that sort of thing, doesn't run away. A man who stands there in front of you, with you, holds your space for you, is strong enough in his truth that he will weather your storm, because ladies, your emotional expression for us is like a storm that just like knocks us over. So the more that you have a man who doesn't run away or collapse or react or try to fix you, that's another trap we fall into. We're trying to fix everything. That's a man you want to have around, because his strength, his heart, his passion, yes, Jennifer, it is not so much true love, it's true depth. Because a man who's in his masculine, and let's talk about this, I talked about this in the last 3 Monday scopes, which are the Man Up Mondays. I talked about this as well for men. That our masculine strength is not a macho strength, it's a very different energy. But when we're in a masculine, we are in a place of alpha presence. And our strength as a man is in our presence. For the woman, for the feminine, it's in movement and energy, which is your emotional expression. So when a man is upset, he will either go and punch a wall, because that's one way of men to get energy out, is by physical expression, by actually venting physically, so punishing something. So it's best, frankly, for men. That's one reason they go away, is because most men who get angry and upset and around someone they love want to move away from them, because they don't want to hurt someone by mistake. So yes, his love is more than physical, it's presence, and it's spiritual. So definitely the truth, yes. So for a man to express his emotions, usually he does it in private. And for men, and thanks for coming in, by the way, if you're coming late to the scope, I'm going to recap a couple of things I did mention earlier. So, nice to have you all here. Okay, good to see you. Please make sure you do share this, by the way, on Twitter and Periscope, and also on Facebook. And make sure you're following me, because I do these scopes every day. So again, well, I'm going to go back and do the beginning for those just joining, but I'm just going to finish off the thought I was on. Men generally take their emotions into private to work with them, and it's not about you. Thank you for that. Trying to see that name. Polly Baz. It's funny because my nickname is Baz, so I was like, who's that? It's an interesting name. Oh, Paulina, nice to have you here. Well, see, the thing is, Evie, that's the thing I'm trying to do, is by explaining it to you, hopefully be less frustrating, because we are different. Men and women handle things differently. So it is a definite bone of contention. Hey Sam, nice to have you here. Hi Daniel, nice to have you here as well. It's absolutely vital, though, if you want to have a healthy relationship, because you don't want somebody who's the same as you. If you're a man who expresses the same way you do, they may be more in their feminine than their masculine, and two, you're going to get really tired of it. So you want the difference. You need the polarity, which I talked about before in relationships, for the chemistry, for the connection, for the sexuality. It also means the diversity and the difference between men and women. But the thing is to have understanding. See, for us as men, with women, when you get upset with us, if you get upset in front of us, let me qualify that. Our frustration is that we can't fix it, because we as men are solution oriented. We want to get things done, goals, completion, ending. That's the way we work. So when you're upset, we see that as a problem to be solved. So a natural inclination, if it's not to run away and to hide and cower because we're a little kid, is to figure out how to fix it. So we're going to give you an answer, and you don't want the answer, because as one of my teachers, Alison Armstrong, speaks about, she talks about the basket. And Alison Armstrong, by the way, PAX International, Understanding Men, Queen's Code, Hero's Journey, amazing teacher, good stuff that she teaches. And in her work, she talks about the basket. And the way she says it is for men, for wise men with a woman who's upset. When she's emotionally upset and venting, his role is to imagine he's holding a big bucket or a basket that she's venting into. And that's all he has to do, is hold the basket and encourage her to keep going, to support her in expressing her upset, expressing her emotions, and to get it out. Because for women, emotional expression, where's the good men at? Where's the good men at? I love that. And again, I'm quoting my teacher. This is not I didn't create this, but I love it because it resonates with me so strongly. For women, when you're expressing your emotional upset, it's like toxins you're getting out of your system. So it's important that you complete that process. To have you express your emotions with a man trying to fix it stops you mid-flow, and it keeps you trapped inside. The way I heard it from Alison Armstrong, from actually one of her recordings, was holding the bucket for you, and if we try to fix it for you, it's almost like we're pouring it back in again. So imagine that someone is throwing up. You've got two choices. One is to hold their hair back, which I actually did in past relationship when we broke up. That's a whole other conversation, because she couldn't handle the love and support I gave her. Can a married man be a good friend? That's a question I can talk about in a moment, but that's off track, so I'll come back to that. Remind me if I don't get to it. When a woman is venting, it's important for her to get it out like she's throwing up, because she's throwing up emotionally, energetically. And for a man to know that wisely and hold the space to allow her to vent without any interruption, without any distraction, is his best way of serving her. So holding the space for her to let it come out and encouraging till it's out completely is best. You ask, you see, these are weird questions. They don't fit, so I can't put it in here. Sorry. Let me keep going. So yeah, so we're wanting to get it out so we can stop thinking about it, and solutions make us think. Exactly. That's the point. Evie, you're right on track. And for men, we need to understand that, because many men don't. We think because you have a problem of some sort, because you're expressing upset, must be a problem, because we're men, we will fix it. We'll come and provide tools and support for you, so we can fix it for you. It's noble, but it's ineffective. In fact, it's destructive, because it doesn't help you get free. So for men, that's one of the tools. But for women to know that when men get upset, they don't do it the same way is important, so you don't think that the man stopped loving you or is upset with you. When a man is upset, he needs to go basically lick his wounds. It's kind of like a wounded lion going into the cave. It's kind of that energetic. The men need to go somewhere else to take care of themselves, whether it's to go punch a tree or go hiking to get the energy out. Because for a lot of men, we forget that when we want to express our emotions, sometimes physical exertion is how we get the energy moving. And to do that privately, or go to the gym, or go not driving, not a good idea, but going into our room or going into a man cave and just being with ourselves, just to sulk, can be a healthy way to do it. So it's different. And that's the thing I was talking about today for women, is that to please understand that we're not the same as you. And emotionally speaking, we're very different in the way we express, the way we dissolve. Because the other thing is, again, emotions to us are like a problem to be solved. We go and work on our problems ourselves. So when there's a problem with our emotions as we see it, we want to go in the cave and try to figure out a solution. And for men, that's the healthy way. Now, there's an evolution happening where men are starting to become more willing to express their emotions, but it's hard because for us as men, emotions feel weak. So in front of our woman, when we're trying to be the superhero, if we express our emotions, we think we look weak in your eyes. A truly mature man, I read an article about this recently, it was a post I posted on Facebook, I think. One of the things he talked about is for men, is this a cultural thing or something hardwired? I think it's more hardwired more than cultural, but some cultures are different. So they're independent, to be honest, Evie. So let me rewind that piece, because I was just about to say something juicy, I think. Expression for men in the mature, there's a conversation about healthy relationships. And when a woman's looking for who has a mature, evolved man, that's what we're looking for in her life, a healthy man knows it's okay to have tears, like watching a sad movie or watching something sorrowful. It's okay for a man to have tears. At the same time, it's almost in our DNA, it's almost in our caveman, so it's really more midbrain support, where we feel that emotions are detrimental because they sap our strength and they make us look weak in your eyes. So for women out there, us being emotional isn't a good thing, we think, because we think you won't see us healthily. So it's all misconceptions and misperceptions, this is the trap. So that's why I'm on this topic. And I hope this is valuable to you. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of comments and I think it is hitting you, so appreciate the hearts and appreciate you commenting. I think I already got that clear. Did I miss anything? Because I think I got everything out for you, so hopefully there's value for you here. There's value for you here. Can't get my words in sequence. Good. Okay, so why do you men chase us and then disappear on us as soon as we give in? Oh, you got into a whole other conversation there. Mary, hold us that thought, and let's see if there's any other questions. Exactly. Well, that's what I'm. And it's funny. I'm thinking about finding a way to do teaching of this in a way. I'll drop a piece in there for that question you asked. I've already moved on from it in my head, because that's the other problem we have as men. We're very good at one thing at a time. So juggling two things at once in our head is not easy, just so you know. Remind me about that one in a moment. It's about hunter and target. And I can explain that one in a moment. On this topic, before I finish it, I want to jump into another topic right in the middle of this. If there's any questions or thoughts you have, or insight or input you want to add. So, so Candy, thanks for sharing. Oh, so you shared this and people are catching up. So great, I'm glad you did. So Mary, I'm glad you're here. If there's not any questions, I'll answer Mary's question, because I'm waiting to hear back if there's any other questions, thoughts on this, because this actually went a lot faster than I thought. I was just going to dump this out and it just came out, hopefully, usefully. Yeah, please, okay, I will answer your question. I will answer the question. And do me a favor also, please make sure you do share the replay with your friends and followers, and particularly the men in your life who want to see this, and for the women too, because it's for both. So it doesn't help a woman who's upset if you try and distract her mind. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because as I said before, this whole focus of when women are upset expressing it, the only thing you can do to help it is to almost imagine you're helping her throw up more efficiently, if that makes any sense. It's a sense of being able to be willing to let her vent. Rather than saying it's going to be okay, just say let it out, so that she can vent it out, because the more it comes out, the more she can be done with it. Because women heal their emotions a lot of times by just expressing them, and that's a key. So it's not about distracting them, no, because distraction is like a solution thing to get it off your plate. That's a personal ego-based response, not helping them, it's helping you. Not cool. So that's that thought. Back to the question about men disappear. That's come up a lot recently, and I think I'll talk about it now. I've talked about it in a previous scope. It helps to have someone you can be honest with. Absolutely so, yes. Why, if you're venting about something unrelated to the man, then he blows up? That's his reactivity. That's because he's taking it personally when he doesn't see it. Because okay, let me give you this piece as well, before I get to the other question that's been hanging over my head for the last few minutes. For many men, we think we're responsible for everything in our partner's life, because we're the hero, we're the man, we're supposed to fix things. So when you get upset, ladies, when you get upset, doesn't matter what you're upset about, we first response, even without thinking about it, is, what did I do wrong? Oh, I screwed up, what happened? So we either react to it by getting nervous or defensive. If men are aware, which more of us are getting that way, we'll listen to what you're actually upset about, because we go, oh, it's about your sister, it's not about me. Because we're so conditioned, I think, as men, as boys, that when someone gets upset, can women love two men at once? That's a different conversation. Hold that thought, I may get back to it. I think, frankly, as boys and teenagers, we learnt somewhere along the way that when we make a girl cry, it's not healthy, and we think we're responsible. So anytime a woman gets upset, we somehow feel like we're going to take responsibility to fix it. Again, the fixer mentality, which is the trap. So that hopefully answers that question. Took about the experience after giving in. Okay, I'm getting to your question. There you go, Candy. So, here's how it works. And you ain't going to like this. I'm sorry. No, it's not an ego thing about him. It's an ego thing out of defensive-ness. That's what it's about. Anyway, I'm going to answer this other question, because it's been sitting there. You're welcome. The chase, yes, I know, I'm getting to it. That's the piece. For many men, I'm just saying I can't contextualize this, particularly the online dating scene, happens a lot, is when you meet someone through the online dating scene as an example, you go on a few dates, he's in pursuit, he's in the chase, he's actually going for a goal, which is to get you, whatever that qualifier is, whether it's to get to first base, to third base, to discover what he wants. The thing is, let me put it this way, in simple terms, let me explain it this way. Men date as a sorting system. Are you the one? Are you the one? Are you the one? Women date to go, oh, let's try a relationship with this person. Let's try a relationship with this person. So the different energetic of where you come from for men and women is a key part of this. The reason why men disappear, and I'm sorry every man does, but a lot of men do because they don't understand this, is they are focused on the goal, because we're goal-oriented. So we are achieving a goal, which is to get to a certain point in relationship with you, or connection, or dates, or maybe it's 5 dates and done. Excuse me. And that's what we achieve. And when we get to the goal, we're done. Well, see, I don't necessarily mean by score, because it may be, Debbie, it may be that they discover that then they find that they're looking down to see, basically, how to say this. We don't usually have a 1,000-mile goal. Our goals are like 2 or 3 steps down the road. So we want, well, that's intimate's another question. So you bring up so many great topics. I've got 5 scopes in here now. All these different topics you keep giving me. This is awesome. Intimacy is something that men don't understand very well compared with women. That's a whole other conversation. I'll get to that one in another scope. You keep throwing stuff at me and trying to answer these questions. It's great. I love it. So men have a goal, which may be 5 dates. It may be sex. It may be a kiss. It may be just to say, is this the one or not? I don't know. The thing is, when we achieve that goal, unless there's another goal related to it right afterwards, we're done. That's simple. Because we work in a sequential process. Men are basically single focus. We're very good at linear thinking. So one thing at a time. That's why if your boyfriend's watching TV, he won't hear what you're saying. Because he's single focused. That's the way we naturally are. It's our skill set, it's our gift, it's our strength, and it's our weakness. Exactly, the hunters. Exactly. We're good at hunting. The feminine energy, women mostly, are the ones who are known as the gatherers. Actually, the gatherer protectors. Hold in focus, because your focus is to be very diffuse, to be very widespread. So you actually can juggle 3 or 4 things at once. You can see what's things at once. Jennifer, macho and masculine, I did a whole scope on that 2 weeks ago. Yes, if you watch my Monday archives, let me give you the link somewhere in here. Sorry, you're asking questions I've already covered. If you go to catch.me/barryselby, and you look through my love scopes, look for the ones that say Man Up Monday. I did one, not last Monday, but the Monday before. I did one about macho versus masculine. The one I did last week was alpha versus aggressive. Similar teaching, but very important knowledge. So if you want to learn about men, watch those 2. The one this Monday, I don't remember what it was. It's on archive, on Catch, and you find it there. So let me get back to this one, just finish this point up. I love these comments, it's great stuff. It's give me lots of focus, thank you. So we as men are goal-oriented. We look for a goal, we take the steps and get there, we're done. And what happens with goals is once they're complete, they're in the archive now, and we're going forward to the next one. And as hard as it sounds to say this and how unromantic this is, for most men, same thing happens in dating. That we will go out with somebody for a few dates to get to know them, and at a certain point we'll go, goal accomplished, which may be sex, or it may be this is not the right one, or it may be a kiss, or again, whatever that is for them, the goals they have, once they achieve the goal, they're done. Now, how this works in a long-term relationship that does work is when a man is going up with somebody, his goal is to get to know the person. Oh, you're very welcome. I'm glad I could help. The goal may be to get to know somebody, and then when he achieves that goal, he goes, this is someone special. I want to go further. I want to get to sleeping with them. Next goal achieved. And the goal of that could be to, now I feel like I want to see where this is going to go for a year. And we set goals. And basically, through life in relationship, in marriage as well, the masculine energy is goal after goal after goal after goal after goal, except with the same person. So you as a lady, what you can do is keep inspiring and serving those goals so you can make sure he stays on track. Because one of the reasons I think men cheat, I believe, and this is one reason I think it isn't, this is totally off topic when we started, but hey, it's on this scope, is because their goals go elsewhere. Because they feel like they've lost their path, their goal-oriented focus in the relationship they're in. And it could be because of different reasons, and I can go into about 10 different reasons, not here, about that. But that's a whole other conversation, a whole other periscope, a whole other topic at some point. It's not about he's not loved. That's the funny part about this, Jennifer. It's often about the fact he doesn't feel that he's contributing, or the feel that he's actually achieving something. It doesn't matter how loved he is. If he's not feeling like he's contributing or achieving something, he'll look somewhere else to put the energy. Now, if he has a project to work on, whether it's woodworking or a new goal or a social condition or a project in business, that can fuel that part and he can be okay. But again, this is a much more subtle conversation, and there's layers of it. So I want to give that to you as points. So if you just joined my scope, thanks for watching. I've covered a huge amount of territory already, it seems. Want to go back and watch the replay, definitely. And any questions on the original topic, because I've covered a lot since then about the difference in understanding emotions. That was the whole point of the scope, and it went way beyond, which is totally fine. But I probably can do 4 scopes out of this one from what I've just talked about. So thank you for inspiring and evoking those questions, because it was good. Yes, thank you. Definitely would recommend you watch the scope. So a couple of quick questions. Well, any questions you have for me, please ask them. I want to just let you know that if you're looking for help in the area of relationship, because this is my speciality, I am offering right now free discovery sessions. If you go here, barryselby.consult, because I am, now that Mercury is out of retrograde, I can now start booking clients again. I had a down period for a while because of the whole mess up there. So if you're looking for help in this area, seek me out. Find me, Go to my website, barryselby.com/consult. Let's book it's called a discovery session. It's a freebie, a gift from me to you. It's a half-hour conversation by phone or Skype, and I can see where you're at. You can tell me what's up, and I can help you get where you want to go, and maybe we want to work together. So that's my gift to you. All right? Any other questions, any other thoughts whilst you're here, whilst I'm at your service on this scope? I know another one. Let him wind down for like 15, 30 minutes until he gets home. Actually, yes, Evie, that's I've talked about that before, way long ago, but since you said that, I'll underline it, because you did say it's right. Yes, it is a difference. For men and women, if you both go out to work when you come home, women, when you get home, more likely than not, you want a chance to share and express and vent your day. That's one of your gifts. For women, that's great. For men, not so great, because when we get home, what we want to do is spend 15 minutes, 30 minutes in silence to process the day. Because again, men and women are different. And a little story I can tell you about this. A couple of friends of mine, husband and wife, before it was even closed. So true. So let me just speak to, if you're a couple that work together, or that you have this challenge coming home where you don't know who goes first. A couple I know in Canada who were teaching some of this work, and I've studied with them, talks about how they work in the same office and in the same home, and they would drive to and from work. It'd be about a 30-minute drive. And they couldn't figure out what was going wrong with their relationship, and turns out this was the piece. So they decided on their way home, the half-hour drive, the first 15 minutes of the drive, they would honor the man by giving 15 minutes of silence, so he could process and digest the day. And then at 15-minute mark, we'd have an alarm, or they just knock at the clock, and then switch roles. So that way the man would say, okay, I feel better now. And then he'd say to the woman, please tell me about your day. And she can just vent for 15 minutes, and she'd be free and clear. So by the time they get home, they were at peace. It's such a simple thing, but so many people don't know it. So if you know that, give you a minute. But this is a piece of the puzzle too. Again, because men and women are different, as I've said so many times, because it's such a powerful piece. And so to understand, that's so funny, I had to do that with my sons for years and didn't know why. That's why. So you did it. So that's awesome that you did it with your son, because it helps them. Yes, we process usually in silence, same as the emotional piece. We go off and do things on our own. Ladies, you like to express up front and out clearly, because you are in the present that way. You get to express it and share it and be free, which is great. But if your men don't understand that, it sucks for us, because we don't know what's coming. It's like we're being attacked almost. So we defend ourselves. Again, that earlier someone said about how we get defensive. When you vent energetically, we don't know who it's for. But if we're in front of you, we think it's personal. So we defend ourselves. And that's a mistake, because it's not about us 99% of the time. It's about you getting free. And if we recognize that and know that, we can be there for you in our strength and also in our loving, versus in a defensive, like, oh no, my God, what's happening? You understand what I mean? Yeah, this is this plays out in so many areas of life. So if you get this piece and you share it with people who don't get this and they start to learn it, you'll change everybody. You usually need to curse for 10 minutes after work. That's good. I'm glad you know that, especially if your partner knows that too and gives you the space for that. See, that's easy it is to do, you know. And also, maybe if that's a problem you're dealing with, maybe you want to change jobs. just saying. Crouching Owl, great handle, by the way. So any other topics, questions, thoughts on this before I sign off? And thank you. And by the way, thank you for interacting on this scope and giving me lots to think about, speak to and respond to, because I appreciate the interaction. Because I can lecture, but I'd rather not. I'd rather interact and be definitely focusing. Oh, and you're in college, that's the best you can get. I understand. I have seen college times be challenging sometimes too. Oh, you're welcome. I know this is off, but why can't men find anything? Can you be more specific? That's a very generic statement or question. Absolutely, my pleasure. I'm glad you're watching and get value, Jennifer. Thank you. If it's not right, okay. Can you explain that more clearly? Because I'm not sure what you mean. You mean like keys, or you mean love? What do you mean? Because that's a very vague question or statement you said there. How do you find what's in front of them, right in front of them? Because I'm not sure if I get what you mean. So please type it out in a way that I can ideally understand it and then answer it for you. Please. Thanks for all the hearts, by the way. Oh, if I say it's in the other room, they don't look. Oh. Are you talking about the fact that they won't take feedback? Because that's not necessarily generic or general thing. So is that what you mean? They don't take feedback well or direction well? Well, okay, I'm going to play with something on this in case it's what you're going for. Before the age of GPS, one of the, yes, no feedback. Okay, so let me say this. This is something from history. Well, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, before GPS became prevalent. I believe GPS was created by women to give men a break, because men hate to ask for directions, whereas women will pull over in a second and ask for directions. So that mindset shifts into what you're just talking about not being just looking at the room. We have to be able to self-discover. We have to think we know what we're doing. This is the false ego impression about power and being right and being in charge. If you course correct us, give us feedback, or tell us something we don't know, we feel disempowered. In fact, we feel like we've been almost emasculated. So first of all, it depends how you do it. So I'll give you a couple of clues on that in a second. The thing is that many women don't realize that they're still carrying a sword cutting off guys' balls. Metaphorically speaking. I'd qualify that. And this is one of those key pieces that we forget. Women have been empowered to work, and I talk about this in my coaching with my clients, to help women soften, because they carry this around not realizing they're doing it. And so anytime they give feedback to men, or guidance to men, or answers to men, men feel like they're going to cut their balls off to do it, or give up their balls to do it. Exactly. That's how it feels. It's like you're taking away from masculinity or manhood by telling me how to do something. I should be able to do it myself. I'm a smart man. I'm a man. It's my thing. So when you talk about stuff, somebody's in the other room, or they're looking for something, it's like, rather than saying it's there, saying, first of all, put it in a question, which is safer, first of all. Instead of a statement, questions, because statements imply rightness, questions are inquiry. So if you know that the keys he's looking for are in the other room, saying, have you looked at the other room? I've got this funny feeling they might be there. Like, you soften it. Well, macho is insecure, to be very blunt. And I've again talked about my scopes 2 weeks ago about macho versus masculine. The masculine is presence, infinitely spacious, safe, solid, no insecurity. The macho is ego-driven, and ego is very insecure, so of course it has that. So to answer that question again, as I mentioned, is to have it done as an inquiry or as a wondering question is much more where the guy can take leadership again. Because if you make the guy wrong by saying, I know it's in that room, he's not going to agree with you, because he can't be right then. And so it's that disempowerment thing. It's really, it's kind of interesting response. It's kind of an interesting dance. So to have it done as an inquiry, as an invitation, so that he can say, let me check and find it and go, I won, because he comes back as the victor, the champion, and he feels secure in his solidity, because he is able to respond. Hey, Dr. G, good to have you here. Thanks for sharing. This scope's gone a long way, by the way. We started a while back about one piece, and we've gone to about 7 other pieces. Didn't realize how easily manipulated I was. Well, it has that impression, but truthfully, it really soothes the egos, and that's what it comes back to. Because men and women are different, as I said. So to have this ability to share in a way that is inspiring and also not taking the power away is a way of helping healthy relationships. So to speak to this point again about the question about looking in the room, we can't find something that's right in front of you. If you as the woman don't tell the man where he's wrong by telling him where it is, because that's what you're doing. If you tell the man it's over there, you're making him feel wrong somehow. Bad move. And not effective. Now, some men need to learn this lesson the hard way. That's a different story. But generally speaking, if you invite the man to look further, is this the dumb fox theory? I'm not sure what theory that is. I've not heard of that one. Maybe you can tell me what that theory is, and maybe it is. I'm not sure. So please explain that one. But if you say it's like, I thought I remember seeing them in the other room, as in you're not sure about it, because again, the surety is what disempowers him. Sounds bizarre, but it's the way it happens. The invitation of saying, have you looked at the other room? It's not meant to be, Evie, it's not meant to be exhausting. It's meant to create less polarization of negativity in the relationship. It's meant to create more opportunity. That's what I'm trying to say. So, no, not act dumb. No, please don't take it that way. It's not what I'm trying to say. It's not to save his ego. What it is to not try to make him look dumb. And this is the thing, it's not either or. Because if you say to him, I know it in the other room, and he thinks he's looked there, he thinks you're making him look dumb. So it works both ways. So soften, that's a great way of putting it, soften. Yes. but can't men understand that we just want to say it's there? Some men can, but some men take it personally as an assault on them. You know, yes, it's being compassionate to our way of thinking. We don't think very well. It gives us the ability to think for ourselves, and it's one of those ridiculously egoic-based things. But for men, sometimes they need their strokes that way. So yeah, I'm just saying, it's just yeah. I mean, it's one of those things, and I mean, again, we are different, as I said, and we handle things differently, from emotions to this topic too. There's a lot of stuff in here. So thank you for being here, by the way, folks, and thank you for all the questions. This has been a huge amount of questions covered. And as I said, there's about 5 new scopes I can talk about from this one alone. Some great stuff came up in this one, so good to be here. So was that Greg Lopez in here I just saw? So why do we have to save the ego all the time? Because basically men generally live or die by it. To be honest, that's what happens. Let me rewind that a second, Evie, because you said something, I responded to it, I didn't think beyond that. As men, there's an evolution happening for us, same as there is for women. I've talked about this in one of my scopes. Maybe Tuesday, no, I think it was last week. Hey, good to see you here. That's okay. You want it to replay because there's so much good stuff in it, and I'm still going, so it keeps going, which is great. No, Evie, it's okay. Nothing to be sorry for. the evolution happening for men is a maturity beyond the macho to the masculine, and so as a macho man, we're ego-driven, balls-driven. It's like my way, the highway, and we're taking it to happen. I'm in a great day. This is a great scope. I'm loving it. It's coming out. So for us men, our ego is to be honest, fragile. Much more fragile than women's usually, because men are usually told they're okay, they're perfect, so we should be able to handle everything. Not true, but we try to think that, and that's the trap we fall into. So for women, it's if you want to support that, you want to do your best not to bruise their egos too much, because they get hurt, they want to walk away. That's what men do. We choose the lesser of painful paths. A man who's in his masculine, which is an evolutionary stage, and it's a work I've been studying for quite a while, so I'm getting better at it. Not perfect, but getting better at it. Taking things personally doesn't happen as easily. It happens, but the thing is, with the tools that we have, ideally as we mature and we grow, we go, hang on a second, that wasn't about me. Oh, I can let that one go. I hope that helps a little bit. Oh yeah, how about a man driving around for 2 hours lost for refusing to get directions? That's why GPS was invented, so we can save our egos. You're welcome, Evie. Glad I could help that one. But no, seriously, again, it's a pride thing. Men don't ask for directions because we should know everything, and especially because, again, with our woman by our side, we want to make her think we look good and we're doing the right thing, so she can trust us. So if we look for directions, we don't feel we're trustworthy. It's effed up thinking, to be honest. But that's the trap we fall into. So that's why I want to speak to that and say that so that's kind of answering your question, I hope. So Britt, nice to have you here. Thank you. That's the key, is to have a real understanding of the differences and encourage a man to learn how to be masculine. Now, how you do that, I have one book I recommend, and it's not mine, even though I do it in my book, This 50 Ways to Love Your Lover, but in my book I recommend another one. So I'm going to shortcut you, take you to that book. Ladies, if you have a man in your life that you love and trust, and you want him to grow in his maturity and his masculinity, the book I recommend highly is by one of my teachers. The author's name is David Deida, D-E-I-D-A. The book I recommend highly for him, and actually for you too, is called The Way of the Superior Man. And again, his name is D-E-I-D-A. The Way of the Superior Man, audio or a physical book, softcover book. So many principles in that book are so powerful for men to learn about. So what you are saying is that the man I'm looking for is more evolved, so it's not a constant. I'm not sure what you said in there. I missed that last part of that. Question of whether this hurt his ego. Well, it's always a question. I mean, and it's case by case basis. I'm not sure I can answer that question specifically. Let me finish up on the book first, by the way. And ladies, if you're single, I recommend the book as well, because it will give you a picture of what sort of man you really want to be with. Now, I'm not making any money off selling his book. I've trained with him, been in his retreats, and read a bunch of his books. And that book particularly changed my life. And it put me on my path. So I'm very passionate about that book. So I may be selfish and biased about that one, but that's what I say. If you want to find out more about 50 Principles for Healthy Relationships, I have a good book. It's got my name on it. And my picture on the back. So, which book? Which missed that one, sorry, Evie, I didn't catch what you said on that one. You love it, that it's important for make sure you guys feel masculine, but some of you take it all too far. No, see, masculine versus macho. Oh, the other book. I don't have it with me. It's on audio on my computer. The Way of the Superior Man by David Deida, D-E-I-D-A. No man or woman has to dumb it down. Love simply requires us to edify versus expose weakness. Nicely done, G. Dr. G, I like that. It's more about to appreciate your partner and how can you serve them best. Which is another way of saying what Dr. G just said. So yeah, it's true. Edify strength. Yeah. At the same time, we forget sometimes. So how do you recover? So it's how do you be of service to your partner without unconsciously putting them down because you didn't realize you were hitting their ego where it hurts, as I mentioned earlier in the scope. So, I think, sorry, this is a still point, so I wasn't sure we were. Yeah. Appreciate your partner, yeah. This is good to have. So, yeah, Dr. G just drops these truth bombs right in the middle of my scope. I love it. Any other questions on this? I mean, I think the scope's gone way beyond what the topic was. So if you have any questions that you want to throw in that aren't part of the topic, go for it. This is a safe space to do it. And thanks for being here through this journey. It's been a very entertaining scope, more than I planned. So I appreciate that. So any other questions, thoughts before I sign off? Because I've still got 15 minutes I can talk for if need be. And thank you for being here, by the way. These questions have kept me on my toes, which I love. I may be kicking some egos and I had no clue. That's okay. The thing is, you do now. That's the key. Oh, it's a pleasure. Thanks, G. Nice to be here. So, the fact you're catching this now, you constantly tell your wife she's your kryptonite. She's the only one who has that ability. Yeah, and that's the thing. You gave her the key to get in. So, knowing that and knowing that you trust her is a big step. So, she can also be your fuel too. So it's about resetting the relationship up that way. That's the thing about relationships. When you open up more space, the vulnerability, the intimacy, and the connection, you give them the opportunity to give you incredible strength and support, and you give them the keys to destroy you. That's trust. Huge part of the picture in relationships. I used to say that the three core qualities of relationship were, what were they? It's been a while since I said them. I remember communication and trust. She's your fuel, your rib. Beautifully said. Yeah, that is very powerful. Yeah, and that's the thing. My prayer for anybody's relationship is that you're absolutely partners, that you support each other's strengths, you're champions for each other, you're each other's biggest cheerleaders, both sides. And this is the part about relationship I'm talking about is evolution, is we get to the point now where men and women, both, not just one side, become each other's supporters, each other's cheerleaders and each other's encouragers, because both of us need it from each other. So I encourage that, recommend it. You'll be a rib someday. Absolutely, Michelle, I can help you with that. That's part of my speciality, my work, my gift. Yeah, I have online programs and coaching, all sorts of stuff. Anyway, I don't want to promote myself too much as just deliver content on this scope. So again, if you want to find out more about me, have a session. Your wife's significant others is man's greatest gift from God. That's well said. I actually have a different point about that, Dr. G. I would say, to be honest, for men, this is for men only, the masculine, our biggest gift is our legacy to the world, which may include our partnership. But our service to the world, our vision, our purpose, which is ideally our legacy in the world, is probably our biggest gift from Spirit through us to the world. Our relationship can support that, but I'm not necessarily on the same page as you about relationship being the greatest gift from God. Because I personally believe differently that we're not necessarily here to serve with a partnership. So I would say we both have a parallel thought. I won't argue with you saying it's wrong. I just think it's different. I had to learn, in fact, I'll speak to this briefly from my own experience. I had to learn, first of all, that relationship wasn't my primary focus because, again, back to the book I talked about, David Deida's book, The Way of the Superior Man, Chapter 7. I've memorized this chapter heading. A man's purpose must come before his relationship. And I didn't know that before. When I started learning that, it changed my perspective. To be an authentic masculine man. Hey, you're the real doctor. I'm just called a doctor, but I only play a doctor on Periscope. No. You would never argue with that. What he said, and it really, for me, just resonated, so I get it, it's truth for me, is that I had to get clear about why I'm in the world first before I can have a healthy relationship. Every relationship up to this point failed because I didn't have truth about why I was in the world. I would lose track of my why and focus on her. And my why is much more important than anything else, because once my why is strong enough and solid, any relationship can thrive with me. So, no, I appreciate that so much, and I really love that. Yeah, no, yes, you're gonna have the lights looking at you sideways. Oh boy, this is getting out of hand. This is getting way out of hand. Oh boy, guys, I appreciate your input, and ladies too. I appreciate the input and the conversation. It's given me lots to think about, to process, and to be inspired by, and to have a lot of laughter. So thanks for making my afternoon. Can you imagine if women had one backbone more than a man? That's an interesting picture. Yeah, I just got caught up in this one, so let me slow down a bit. Excuse me. Oh, you're welcome, and thanks, Evie. Evie, you were from the beginning, so thank you for being one of my big supporters in this scope, and for bringing up the questions. It keeps my scopes fresh and on point. So, my pleasure. Again, particularly for the ladies out there, but if you're looking for love and need some help with clarifying your vision and to feel what's in the way of that in your heart, that's my speciality. So check out my free gift. It's a discovery session. So, absolutely. Well, thank you for that. Must do what more often? To watch my scopes? Yeah, I'm on pretty often, so you're welcome. Again, so barryselby.com is a website. Consult is a free discovery session with me if you want to find out more about what's in the way and what you want to attract for love. It's what I do, it's what I serve, it's my gift to you. So I think I'm wrapping up because I'm feeling the questions that were coming thick and fast have softened, and I can let you think with that. So, by the way, if you join the scope halfway through or later, there's a lot covered in the scope, so I recommend highly go back and watch the replay, because we covered a lot of territory in this place. So I'm glad you all guys came in, especially friends of friends. So thanks for those of you who shared this scope out on Periscope and on Facebook. And I don't speak Spanish, sorry. I'm English, not even American. Makes it harder. I'm only speaking English and American. That's 2 languages. Spanish should be a 3rd. So grateful you guys were here in the scope. Those who regulars, those who know me, and those who came in following. If you hadn't been here before, please make sure you do follow me in Periscope. So I do a love scope pretty much every day. Still on. Awesome. Thank you, Debbie. So if you are here for the first time, please make sure you do follow me. Swipe right on the iPhone, swipe up on the Droid. I speak the Queen's English. Yes, exactly. Or tap the little guy in the corner and make sure you put my profile and tap follow me. And I do a broadcast every day, at least once. Except Sundays and sometimes Saturdays. Weekends I have flexible, but weekdays I'm pretty much on every day. Sometimes twice. So thank you for being on my scope. I love the fact you were here. Exactly, thanks to the Union Jack flag. Thanks, Dr. G. And anybody else you want to share this with, please share the replay with them. And it'll be on Catch as well. Oh, my pleasure. It's been a joy. Well, wait, I have tons of content out on Catch. Catch.me/barryselby. So you find a bunch of stuff out there. For the men especially, I do, I'll get in a second. Man Up Monday is my Monday scope. This is Wednesday, which is the Woman Up Wednesday, but it really covered both sides of the fence. So yeah, Perry Dudes indeed. Where I'm from outside London in Essex, in England. I live in Los Angeles, so I have both sides. So yeah, thank you. Appreciate that, Michelle. Yes, this is content that keeps coming up. So, oh, my pleasure, Dr. G. I look forward to seeing you on your scopes too. I've missed a couple of yours. I saw go by. And Evie, thanks for bringing so many people into the scope, and thanks for asking your questions. It made my scope much more fruitful for everybody out there. So thank you all for being here. I think unless there's any direct burning questions, I'm going to sign off in a moment. So thank you all for being here. My love to all of you. Take care of yourselves out in the world. Love more than you did yesterday. Take care of your hearts and honor who you are. And if you're in a relationship with somebody you love, honor them too. There, that's my gospel for the day. Okay? Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching, folks. I'm going to sign off. Unless there's any questions, I don't see any questions. I think we're all good. I know you're all saying goodbye to each other and hello to each other, so I'm going to let you do that for a couple of seconds. Domain the Black. That's interesting. Oh, Donna in the Black. Sorry, I read that wrong. I know some of you folks from the Perigos through Joanne, so I do know some of your handles showing up there. And thanks to myself and Karma and Greg and a bunch of other guys, Dr. G and a bunch of other guys in this scope, we're going to blow up Perry Dudes this year. Watch out. Perry Dudes are going to catch up with Perigos, or at least work together in parallel with you guys. So, oh, you're welcome. Thanks for being here. All right. Any other questions, thoughts before I sign off? Last call for questions. Last call. Well, going once, going twice. Yeah, dudes. There you go. Thank you, Evie. Dudes join. Yeah, perrydudes.com. That's the link. Actually, I haven't seen that. I think it's the link to go to find the Facebook group and then join our Periscope. Perry Dudes rocks. It's a new upcoming group that's been hibernating, but it's time to wreck it out. Can you say me some different words? For example, some difference between UK English and American. Yeah, Scotch tape and sellotape, because they're both brands, but they're sticky tape. That's the difference is. Any car term, hood, bonnet, fender, wings, trunk, boot. There's a few words to keep you busy. And we spell everything different. You know, we spell a lot of words without the U in them that you speak in American. And aluminium versus aluminum. There, that'll keep you going for a while. Any other questions or thoughts before I sign off, since that was a totally off-topic question? I think that's about it. I love the hearts. I almost want to stay on for the heart display. It's just fun to watch them. They seem to be a lot more pastels lately. So, any other thoughts, questions before I sign off? And by the way, if you'll reach out to me, you can message me over Twitter. You can go to my website. You can either get a discovery session, or you can just go to barryselby.com. There's a link to talk to me, where you can actually sign up. Just send a message to me too. All right. So that's enough promotion. But that's hopefully giving you enough stuff to process through. That's a lot of content, way beyond what I expected to give on the scope. And damn, it's almost an hour-long scope. I haven't done one of those in a while. I'm gonna get some lunch now. It's a bit late in the day, but I need to get some lunch. Thanks for watching my scope. Thanks for being here. You already told you, go out and love more. And thanks for keeping me on point with questions that can help you. And hopefully you got value from this scope. And if you did, please let people know about it. Share it on Periscope, share it on Twitter, share it, take it into your life, apply it. And if you want more help, reach out to me. All right? Thanks for watching, folks. I appreciate you learning, taking the time to watch my scope and to get value from this. Oh, my honor, my pleasure. Thanks for being here. I appreciate the feedback. Thank you. I love talking about this stuff, and it is a passion of mine. So if it's inspiring you, awesome stuff. I'd rather talk to you guys than talk to myself. All right, I'm signing off. I'll be back on again tomorrow for Periscope. I don't think I have anything else planned for today. Tomorrow I'll be doing it one scope, maybe two. We'll see. And I'll see you again later. Take care of yourselves. Thanks, Debbie. Take care of yourself, folks. Have a wonderful day. Love yourself more than you have done yesterday, and love those around you, because they deserve it. Okay? Bye, folks.